All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. We should be at word problems in your notes, and word problems are not hard at all. They are the exact same thing. You just have to set up the equations. So it's the same thing that you've been doing. So on the first one, it says the difference of two numbers is 4 and their sum is 20. That tells you the two equations. It's really short and sweet. There are two different numbers. Those numbers are x and y. What does difference mean? Subtract. So the difference of two numbers is means equals 4. So that's your first one. The second one says their sum is 20. Their sum is 20. What does sum mean? So you're going to do x plus y equals 20. That is your system of equations. If you look, you have y's that are exactly the same, but one is positive, one is negative. Does everybody see that? The y's will go ahead and cancel out. What is x plus x? 4 plus 20. And then how do we finish this out? Divide by 2. And x gives us 12. We have to find y as well. Use either equation, it doesn't matter. The second one was all positives, x plus y equals 20. We said that x was 12, so we're going to put it in right there. And then how do I solve? And I get y equals 8. Is everybody okay with that? What is my coordinate answer? 12, 8. That's it. Anything hard? So literally set up the equations. The other ones they're just as easy, and you'll see what I mean in just a minute. So this one is exactly the same. Find the value of two numbers if their sum is 24. So we'll start there. How do I write their sum is 24? And their difference is 4. X minus y is 4. And it almost looks the same as the other one, but it's equal to 24 instead of 20. Your y's will go ahead and cancel out. What is x plus x? 24 plus 4. How do I finish? And x is 14. Is everybody okay? Pick either equation. I'm going to go with the top one because it's all positive. And plug in 14 for x. So I get 14 plus y equals 24. How do I solve? When I subtract 14, I get y equals what? 24 minus 14, 10. Coordinate answer. 14, 10. Perfect. Great job. Again, don't make this harder than what it is. It's actually pretty easy. All right, so on the next one, it looks like it's going to be really hard because there's a lot of words, but it's really, really easy. So let me show you how to set up the first one, and then the other ones follow exactly the same way. So it says the school that Michaela goes to is selling tickets to a play. On the first day of ticket sales, the school sold 10 senior citizen tickets and 1 child ticket for a total of 151. Now, the thing with these questions is they might ask you for one or the other and not both. So the way that I set these up is we're going to talk about it right here. 10 senior citizens. So I do this, 10 S instead of Y. So I know that stands for senior citizens. And 1 child is what they sold. So plus 1 child, and I'll use C for child. And it had a total of $151. Let's see if you can set up the second one. The school took in $95 on the second day by selling 6 senior citizen tickets and 1 child ticket. So how many senior citizens do we sell? So 6 seniors or 6S. How many child tickets? 1. And how much did they make? 95. Tell me what you noticed about these equations. What else? Is there? Check. Okay, yeah, yeah. So the C's are the same, one C and one C, but we need them to cancel out. So what do we have to do? Change the sign. So we're going to change, change, change. Perfect. So then C's cancel out. What is 10 minus 6? And then 151 minus 95. If you need calculators, get them. 151 minus 95 is 56. How do I solve? Again, if I divide by 4, I get. So how much is a senior citizen ticket? $14. It says find the price of a senior citizen ticket and the price of a child ticket. So how do we find the child ticket? Yeah, put it into one of the other two equations. So I'm going to go with 10S plus 1C equals 151. And I'm going to put 14 in for S. What is 10 times 14? How do I solve? Subtract 140. I get 1C or just C. You don't have to have the 1. Equals, what's 151 minus 140? So how much is a child ticket? 11. So now, because I use the variables S and C, I know exactly which one is which. So if they ask me about a child, I can go see that C is 11. Okay. The next one is the same exact way. It's just going to tell about different stuff. Okay. The water park is a popular field trip destination. This year, the senior class at high school A and senior class at high school B both planned trips there. The senior class at high school A rented and filled 5 vans and 1 bus with 65 students. How could I write that? 5 vans and 1 bus with 65 students. Perfect. Somebody else on high school B rented and filled 5 vans and 2 buses with 85 students. Perfect. Anything the same? Yeah, I can get the V's to cancel out, right? How do I get them to cancel out? Change, change, change. 1 minus 2. Negative 1B. 65 minus 85. What do we get? What kind of 20? Negative. How do I solve this? Divide by negative 1. And B equals positive 20. What does that mean? There's 20 kids on each bus. That's all it means. 20 kids on each bus. So now we need to find the other one because it asks how many are on each van and each bus. So 20 on a bus. We have 5V plus B equals 65. We're going to plug in 20 for B. And how do I solve? I'm going to subtract 20 and get 5V equals, 45. How do I solve? Divide by 5. And V equals 9. So how many people are on a bus? On a bus? On a bus. 20. And on a van? 9. That's it. Got it? That's all we're doing today. So the only way it gets harder is that nothing matches on your equation and you have to flip the front 2 and multiply. So it's the same thing. The senior class at high school A and high school B planned separate trips to New York City. The senior class at high school A rented and filled 10 vans and 2 buses with 154 students. How do I write that? High school B rented and filled 4 vans and 2 buses with 94 students. Set that equation up. What can I do to solve them? Change the signs. My two B's match. To get them to cancel out, we just change their signs. What's 10 minus 4? 6B. 154 minus 94. What do we get? 60. How do I solve? Divide by 6, and B equals, what's that mean? 10 people on the band. Yep. Pick an equation, doesn't matter which one. I like the second one. And remember, I changed the sign, so I'm going back and making them all positive. And I just don't know why I like the second one. I'm just using it because I haven't used it before. All right, B is 10. So 4 times 10 plus 2B equals 94. What is 4 times 10? 40. Plus 2B equals 94. How do I solve? Subtract 40. I get 2B equals 54. How do I solve? Perfect. And what do I get for B? If you're not sure, 54 divided by 2 gives me 27. 27. So 27 on a bus. What? Everybody good? 27 on a bus, 10 in a van. Any questions 1 through 5, first page? Again, the only way they get harder is you have to multiply to get them to solve out. We have 5 more and we'll be done, even if that only takes a couple minutes. All right, Jacob School is selling tickets to a spring musical. On the first day of ticket sales, the school sold 1 adult and 3 students for a total of 19. How do I write that? Perfect. The school took in 42 on the second day by selling 3 adult and 6 students. So how do I write that to match this equation? 3A plus 6S equals 42. Perfect. Now notice nothing looks alike. This is what I was talking about. Nothing looks alike. So the way we get them to look alike, we put those parentheses on and we switch the first 2 numbers. Distribute your 3. 3 times 1A is 3A. 3 times 3S. And then 3 times 19, if you don't know what that is, use your calculator. Oh, sorry, 19 times 3 is 57. Distribute here, 1 times 3A. 1 times 6S. 1 times 42. Now you have your A's that look alike. How do I get them to cancel out? Change, 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 just like before. Your A's will cancel out. What's 9 plus negative 6? 3S. 57 minus 42. 15. How do I solve? Divide by 3, and I get S equals 5. So a student ticket is $5. Pick the equation that you started with. This 1A plus 3S equals 19 is your easier one. And we're going to plug in 5 for S right there. Remember, I can just write 1A as A. Plus 3 times 5 equals 19. What's 3 times 5? How do I solve? What's 19 minus 15? So how much is an adult ticket and a student ticket? That's it. That's all you do, guys. So that's one of the hardest problems right there. So if you can handle that, you're good today. All right. What's your next one? The school that Stefan goes to is selling tickets to a choral performance. On the first day, ticket sales in the school sold 12 adults and 14 child tickets for a total of 158. How do I write that? plus 14C equals 158. The school took in 96 on the second day by selling 1 adult and 13 child tickets. One A plus 13C equals 96. Nothing looks alike, so what do I do? Switch. This is going to get the 1, this is going to get the 12. We're going to distribute 1 times 12A. 12A. 1 times 14C. 1 times 158. Now you're actually going to have to do work. 12 times 1A. 12A. 12 times 13C. And then 96 times 12. 1152. 1152. You're good. Now I have my A's that look the same. How do I get them to cancel out? Change your signs. I have 14 minus, 156. What did I get? Negative 142. 158 minus 1152. I get. How do I solve? Divide by negative 142. And I get? So what's that mean? A child ticket is 7. Okay, look at your 2 equations that you had before you did parentheses. Which one looks easier? Yeah, the bottom one has smaller numbers. I would definitely use that. A plus 13C equals 96. C was 7. So we're going to do 13 times 7. And we get A plus 91 equals 96. How do I solve? A equals 5. So $5 for an adult ticket, 7 for a child. 3 more, guys. Same thing over and over again. Same thing. All right. The county fair is a popular field trip destination. This year's school, the senior class at high school A and the senior class at high school B both plan trips there. The senior class at high school A rented and filled 6 vans and 7 buses with 322 students. How do I write that? School B rented and filled 11 vans and 14 buses with 637 students. Okay, let me show you something else. Something that might be a little bit easier is if you can find, if you look at your variables, and you can make one look like the other with having to multiply 1 instead of multiply 2. You can keep doing 2. I'm just trying to show you this. Somebody will like it and somebody will not, and that's fine. If we look at 7 and 14, how can I make 7 look like 14? Multiply by 2, right? So instead of doing both equations and having huge numbers, I can just do the first one by 2 to get those B's to match. So if you can see that, do that. If you can't, just keep flipping the first 2 numbers. It's going to give you the same exact answer, okay? Same exact answer. So we get 12V plus 14B equals 644. I just multiplied everything by 2. I distributed. I didn't do anything to the bottom equation, so I'm just going to rewrite it. And you guys see that your B's match now. I didn't have to do 2 times, like I didn't have to multiply twice. So if you can do that, try to do that. How do I get my 14s to cancel out? Change, change, change. What is 12 minus 11? 1. 644 minus 637. 8. Is it 8? Oh, sorry, not 8. What is it? 7. No worries. 7. Pick an equation from the first 2 that you wrote Which one looks easier? The top one's got a little bit smaller numbers. So 6V plus 7B equals 322. And we got that V was 7. So 6 times 7 plus 7B equals 322. What is 6 times 7? 42 plus 7B equals 322. How do I solve? Subtract 42. 322 minus 42 is? So 7B equals 280. How do I solve? Divide by 7, and I get B equals 40. That's it. Any questions? Two more. The senior class at high school A and high school B planned separate trips to the local amusement park. The senior class at high school A rented and filled 12 vans and 14 buses with 984 students. How do I do that? High school B rented and filled 11 vans and 7 buses with 552 students. Okay. Can I get these to look alike, only multiplying once? What can I do? Times 2 on the second one. Again, if you can see that, do that. If you can't, flip the first 2 and distribute twice. Oh, sorry, 5. It's because I was talking and writing at the same time. Thank you, 552. So the first equation we didn't touch. The second equation, we're going to multiply the 2 in. 2 times 11V. 2 times 7B. And 2 times 552. 1104. How do I get them to cancel out? Change, change, change. Your B's cancel out. If you need it, 12 minus 22 is negative 10B. 984 minus 1104 is, how do I finish it? Divide by negative 10. And I get V equals 12. Pick the easiest equation. Doesn't matter, they're both big. So which one do you want to pick? Say it again. The bottom. 11V plus 7B equals 552. Our V was 12. So 11 times 12 plus 7B equals 552. Use your calculator if you need to. 11 times 12, 132 plus 7B equals 552. How do I solve? Subtract 132. So 552 minus 132. And then how do I solve? When I divide by 7, I get 60. So a bus carried 60. The van carried 12. Y'all okay? Everybody good? All right. One more. The school that Shayna goes to is selling tickets to the annual talent show. On the first day of ticket sales, the school sold, sorry, I'm trying to make it so y'all can see the rest of it. The school sold 9 adult tickets and 6 child tickets for a total of 198. How do I write that? Good. The school took in 126 on the second day by selling 3 adult tickets and 7 child tickets. Do I have anything I can make look like the other one by multiplying only one time? Which ones? Three A times 3 will give me 9A, right? If you forget, switch the 9 and the 3, multiply twice. So the 9A plus 6C equals 198 was fine. 3 times 3A. 3 times 7C. 3 times 126. If you need your calculator, 126 times 3. What do we get? 378. On your EOC, they like to do systems without calculators. So you'll see these on the non-calculator active, but they won't give you these big, huge numbers, okay? They'll give you smaller ones. Change, change, change. What is 6 minus 21? Again, if you need to use your calculator, negative 15C. 198 minus 378 gives me negative 180. How do I solve? Divide by negative 15. And we get C equals 12. Realize if we're looking for money and you get a negative number there, you're not supposed to, okay? We don't have negative money. Pick an equation. It doesn't matter which one. Which one y'all want to pick? The bottom looks a little bit smaller. 3A plus 7C equals 126. C was 12. So 3A plus 7 times 12 equals 126. 7 times 12 is? How do I solve now? I get 3A equals 42. How do I finish? A equals 14. Any questions? All right. So you guys have your quiz now. It's going to look almost exactly the same to this, okay? It's going to look almost exactly the same. So go ahead and work on that. Zoomers, I'm going to stop sharing, stop recording.